I get asked a lot, what would I do if I had £30,000 to invest in property? How exactly would I invest it? So on this video, I'm going to be explaining what I would do with 30k. Okay, so if I had £30,000 in the world and that's all I had to invest in property, I wouldn't want to invest in property. I think that if all I had in the world and have any property investments or anything, I just had 30k, I'd want to invest at least some of it in myself, educating myself, so that I could answer this question properly. If I had to invest it in property, I think I would, me knowing what I know now, if I just had 30k, I would probably buy an apartment, Birmingham city centre, that I could rent out on a serviced accommodation basis. I think that would give the highest return on investment. I don't think you could beat the returns of that type of deal. So if I had 30k, I'd find a little apartment in Birmingham. I've just bought 2 of these, so I am in this position. I haven't just got 30k, but I have got 30k and I am investing 30k just lots of times, doing lots of big deals, land developments, castles, but I'm also buying these types of deals. So I think that's what I would probably do. Find a property, £100,000 maybe in Birmingham, a little apartment, 1 bed, permission to rent it service accommodation, permission with the lease, in the centre, boom, rent it out. I've got people that will manage it. The returns are like 40, 50% ROI. It's just insane. If you're watching this video, there's no magic, this is the best thing to do. I don't think there's any magic answer. I think that you should invest in what you know. In fact, I was chatting to Lord Sugar about this. I asked him a very similar question as what you guys ask me a lot. I said, if you had 100 grand, what would you invest in? And we had a whole conversation about it, but one of the things he said that was really important was you should invest in what you know. If you know a lot about HMOs, let's say you've been experimenting and going on training programs and learning all about HMOs and you've got 30k, I would probably buy a HMO with it. That'd be a good investment. Maybe buy a 4 bed. 4 beds are really good because 5 beds you need a license. With the new changes coming in and stuff, you need a license. So the difference between 4 and 5 bed is a license. So if you're going to get a license anyway, sometimes I think you may as well jump to 6. If it's more than 6, you need planning. To keep it real simple, if you had 30 grand and that's it, your best bet would probably to be buying a 4 bed in a cheap area, city centre, maybe somewhere like Liverpool, Walsall. Walsall's good. Walsall's not even that cheap. You could do Bradford. I'd find a cheap area where I knew that there was a high demand. There was no Article 4. 4 bed, HMO, buy it for like 80, 90 grand. Your 30 grand's going to get swallowed up in that one deal because deposit could be 20 grand, but then you've got your furniture. I'd probably, if I had only 30 grand, I'd lease my furniture to save putting down much money. Rent 4 rooms out, fetch rent about £1,400 a month. Of course, you're going to have to pay expenses and that, but you could easily be left with £700 a month. £700 a month cash flow, investing 30 grand in, not bad, especially when the Article 4 is going to come in, your property's going to shoot up, rents are going up. So that'll probably be the second thing that I would do. The third thing that I would do, if I was absolutely brand spanking new to property and I had 30 grand, I didn't know anything about serviced accommodation, I didn't know anything about HMOs, I didn't have any mentors and was too tight to pay for mentoring, because honestly, if you got 30 grand and that's it, you could put it into property, but I mean, I'm not saying you should put the whole 30 grand, but at least put 10%. At least put 10% into educating yourself. Mentors, books, CDs, whatever. If I'm your mentor, you ain't gonna be able to do it 10%, but find someone that will. But the third thing that I might do is I might, 30 grand, just go and buy a single let property or a couple, because if they're very cheap, 50 grand properties, which you can find in many parts of the country, you only need 15 grand. You could buy a couple single lets or just one single let property. You know, even if it's just giving you an income of £400 or £500 a month, still, you're on the property ladder, you've got some income coming in. It's going to help you when going to buy some more, some bigger development properties or even HMOs potentially, and then just assess it. But whatever you do when you start and you invest that first 30 grand, assess it, do a spreadsheet and stuff and work out what return on investment you get in. Last thing that you can do with the 30 grand is buy a house to live in, because a house you live in is not an asset, because the definition of an asset is something that puts money in your pocket every single month. No, the worst thing you could do, worse than that, would be just spending it on stuff. Spending it on stuff that disappears. Just don't. I mean, geez, please don't do that. Invest it in something. Hope that answers the question. If you had £30,000 in the bank right now, hopefully you've got more, but if you had £30,000 and that was it, what would you do with it? Would you invest it in a HMO, serviced accommodation? Would you buy a couple single lets or a single let? Or would you invest it in yourself? Comment your thoughts below on this video. Also, don't forget to share, subscribe, like. I really appreciate that. Love you forever. See you next time.
Thank you so much for watching. If you benefited from that video, please do share it with your family and friends. For more videos like it, you can watch right here. And if you'd like to spend 2 days with me at the Property Investors Crash Course, watch this video, see what happens. But whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe right here, and I'll see you next time.